Jaguar.
I never knew what freedom was until I saw you lose yours.
Great guest joining us here live on our big broadcast. Welcome to the program, Zach. How are you, my friend?
Hey, man. I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
So, you have got an incredible new project. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, it's a game show in the parking lot of a concert before the show. So I'm standing out there meeting happy people as they come in to see their favorite bands and giving them money if they can answer trivia questions about these bands so they can get a little money to go in the show, get some merch, a couple beers. You know, I'm just helping out the people.
That's awesome.
And it's called Parking Lot Payday.
Parking Lot Payday. Okay, so this is an incredible concept. How did you get involved with this? Because this sounds like it's right up your alley, just from everything I've ever read about you.
You know, Access TV has another great show called Top 10 Revealed.
Yes.
Where they write like the top 10 soundtracks, the top 10 songs about women, you know. And they brought me in as sort of a personality on that with Katie Darrell, and they sort of started talking to me about music, and, you know, one of the producers knew my band that I've been in forever, and she was like, you know, with your career and your band, you'd be a perfect host. I was like, okay, let's do it. So that's how it happened. It's one of those rare, crazy stories, you know, no audition. Like, it was just like, all right, get in the parking lot. Here's a microphone. Have fun. I was like, yeah.
That's great.
So that's how I got involved. And I think, you know, the first episode, it was sort of a trial run, and everyone liked it. So here we go with our premiere tonight, and hopefully more to come.
So this, talk to me a little bit about I guess, kind of the behind the scenes of this, because this is not shot like a normal, you know, run-of-the-mill TV show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we bring a camera crew out to the parking lot, and we basically offer people walking by an opportunity to win money on a game show.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how many people just, like, run away scared, like they think it's a scam. Meanwhile,
they think it's a scam. That's awesome.
They all do. You know, it's very hard to give away free money, I've found out in this world. But
you know. I worked in radio, brick and mortar radio, for a long time, where they gave away, you know, they had the Caller 19 and all that stuff. And yeah, it is very hard to give away free money. I don't understand it at all, brother.
You know, it's funny. It's also, you know, look, our show works like this. The first questions are pretty easy. You know, if we're at a Rolling Stones show and we say, you know, who's the guitar player for the Rolling Stones, you know, who is not named Ron Wood. If you don't get Keith Richards, you know, you shouldn't even be playing. You shouldn't even be at the show, to tell you the truth. But that's like the first question was $5, and then as they get harder, you can trade in your $5 for double the amount. So eventually, you can win $2,560.
That is pretty damn
so
cool.
It's a good chunk of change. Yeah.
Wow. So I love the story of how you got picked. They basically said, "Hey, we really like you. Let's do something."
Right.
I just love that.
I mean, I've hosted so many ridiculous TV shows over the years, like, you know, 10 years ago, I hosted a show about competitive taxidermy on AMC.
Really?
You know, like, I've done it all. So, you know, music has always been in my DNA, and I think finally this is one of those shows that I'm like, oh my God, this is a perfect match for me, and I think they saw that too. So, yeah, it's a crazy story.
So, do they go ahead and do everything as far as producing the show, putting it together, coming up with the ideas, and you basically are just told, hey, we're going here, let's do this? Or do you have any input on that end of things?
That's a good question. Normally our research department, our EP, Lauren Child, and a bunch of other folks in the Access TV production crew come up with the questions, and then we decide on the venue and the band. Then we have a pre-production meeting where I sort of review the questions, and we go over, A, is this too hard? Is this too easy? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then occasionally I get to write in some of my own stuff. I do a thing where I kind of do, like, real or fake lyrics, and I write something that's similar to, like, an Imagine Dragons song, and see if, like, a
awesome.
super fan can tell it's fake. So stuff like that. But, yeah, normally they're coming up with most of it, and I just sort of am given the free rein to improvise and have fun with the people.
That's great. That is tremendous. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us here on our big broadcast. So, with this premiere tonight, have you guys already shot a season and it's basically just, waiting on things to premiere to see how they do, and then you guys are going to go from there? Or is this one of those things where you film a couple episodes and then you're going to go film more? What is that like?
We have 4 that are in the can for this first season, which, in television, in classic television, that's not a lot, but in today's world, with so many, options out there, 4 is a good amount of content, and then we're going to start shooting more and hopefully get the second season going pretty soon. So, yeah, it's a little bit of both. It's, maybe the second season is 8 episodes. Like, we're not sure yet, but I guess it will depend on how it all goes this first 4 weeks.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think this is going to be a really cool deal. When you go in there and you you put this whole thing, like when they hand you some of the questions, do you roll your eyes at some of this, or do you go, oh wow?
I mean, a lot of it, if it's a band like Coldplay or Imagine Dragons, a band that maybe I'm not as familiar with,
yeah,
I'm like shocked at some of the information. For instance, I forget what Coldplay's original name was, but it was kind of surprising. And then I wish I had the information on me, but those are the kind of things that even I learned something. It's as educational for me as it is fun. The Stones, a band that I know probably more about than most bands.
Yeah.
Even there were some questions that they came up with in that I had no idea about. So even if you're like a diehard, I mean, it's pretty challenging. We're not, we want people to win, but we also want to challenge them. We don't want to make it too easy, especially for the viewer. We also want the viewers to watch this show and say, oh, my God, I knew that answer. Get me on Parking Lot Payday. When's the next show? I'm going to go challenge these guys.
So how does the what I'm really interested in knowing on this is, I've covered concerts and covered events and things like this, and a lot of times, and even though now with COVID and everything kind of subsiding, it's not as bad, but does Access TV have to basically get with everybody from top to bottom that are on these concerts, that are performing at these concerts, to be able to go into the parking lot? Or is this just shotgun and everything and you guys just show up and do this kind of deal?
No, it's as you probably know, in television and rights and clearances, there's a lot of red tape to get through.
Yes.
To get in front of a rolling. I'm hoping that the more the show premieres, the more people check it out, more bands will be like, oh, we should do that,
Yeah. I think that's great. So before we let you go, how do people correspond with you on social media about the show and get involved with everything and watch the show?
Yeah, I mean, my Instagram is at Zach Selwyn, Z-A-C-H, Selwyn, and then my Twitter, Zach Selwyn. I mean, if people still go to websites, ZachSelwyn.com, it's all up there. You can read about my taxidermy show if you want.
I love that idea. I think that is fantastic.
You have no idea, man. I mean, we premiered after Breaking Bad season 6 or something. I was like, this is my big break. It's over. Forget it. And then it was just like one of the worst shows ever. I won't badmouth it. It was sort of it was just weird. I got so much hate mail from animal rights activists and, like, I didn't stuff the lion, you know.
That's great. I'll tell you, I am going to have to go hunt this show down somewhere.
It's called Immortalized.
I'm going to have to go watch this because this just sounds like something that this should have worked. This should have been one of those things that became, a huge deal, and I'm shocked that it didn't.
I know. Especially with Breaking Bad as our lead-in.
I know. I'm like...
But you know what? When all is said and done, I would much rather do rock and roll trivia in a concert parking lot than interviewing a guy about how he stuffed the quail that he's displaying.
Well, that too.
You know, but yeah, I mean, look,
Too.
I've spent most of my young life partying in parking lots, and now they're kind of letting me go have fun in parking lots and get paid for it. I'm like, this is everything for me. You know, they just won't let me shotgun beers on camera.
They got to have some sort of standards, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, brother, this has been amazing. Thanks for talking to us. And I guess before we let you go, the first episode premieres this evening, correct?
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Tonight, Access TV, AXS TV. And hopefully people get into it. Metallica is where we went first show. We're in Las Vegas, hanging out with these crazy Metallica fans. You can imagine how fun that was.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for doing this, and we will talk to you soon. Good luck with the show. I'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks, brother. There he goes. And we are going to take a timeout.